The ground shook as Jack Harmon pressed his body against the ancient stone wall. Sweat dripped down his face, mixing with the red dust of Epsilon 9. He checked his oxygen meter. 2 hours left. Not much time to find what he came for. 50,000 years, he whispered to himself, running his fingers along strange markings carved into the wall. And they said nothing was here. Jack had risked everything for this moment. His career was already destroyed. His reputation shattered after he published his theories about advanced civilizations on Epsilon 9. The military had declared the planet off limits. Anyone caught here faced execution. He didn't care anymore. He needed proof. The tunnel opened into a vast chamber. Jack's flashlight beam cut through darkness, revealing towering pillars covered in symbols. His heart raced. This was it, exactly what he'd predicted in his research. Worth losing everything for, he said, stepping forward. The moment his boot touched the center of the chamber, a low hum filled the air. The ground vibrated. Blue light suddenly pulsed through the symbols on the walls, flowing like water through ancient circuits. Jack froze. In 50 years of exploration, no one had ever reported any power or activity in these ruins. System activating. Presence detected. The voice came from everywhere. Jack spun around, searching for its source. A figure materialized before him. Tall, humanoid, but clearly alien. Its body semi-transparent and glowing with the same blue light that now filled the chamber. At last, the worthy one has arrived, it said in perfect English. Jack's mouth went dry. How are you speaking my language? I have waited and observed your kind for generations. Learning. Preparing. The hologram moved closer. I am the last memory of the Araxian civilization. What happened to them? Jack asked, fighting to keep his voice steady. The void consumed us, as it has consumed countless others. As it will consume your people if you are not prepared. The alien's eyes, 3 glowing orbs arranged in a triangle, fixed on Jack. You are different from the others who have come. Your mind patterns match the requirements. Jack heard distant alarms. The military had found him. I don't understand, Jack said, backing away. There is no time. The alien raised its hand. Accept the gift. Become the vessel. A beam of light shot from the hologram, striking Jack in the chest. He screamed as burning pain spread through his body. Knowledge flooded his mind. Images of stars dying, planets crumbling, and a darkness moving between worlds. The knowledge of our people is yours now, the alien said as its form began to fade. The defense systems, the warnings, all we knew of the void. The chamber shook violently. Dust and stone fell from the ceiling as explosions rocked the surface above. They're bombing the site, Jack gasped, struggling to his feet. Go. The connection is complete. The alien pointed to a small opening in the wall. They must not capture you. Jack ran for the exit as the chamber collapsed behind him. Pain shot through his right hand. Looking down, he saw something glowing beneath his skin. A small artifact, shaped like a star, now embedded in his palm. He stumbled through tunnels as the bombardment continued above. His mind burned with alien memories and knowledge he couldn't possibly understand. When he finally reached his hidden ship, Jack looked back at the ruins, now half buried under military strikes. The pain in his hand intensified as strange symbols appeared on his skin, glowing blue in the darkness. Jack's eyes widened as understanding suddenly clicked into place. He saw it all, the coming darkness, the threat to Earth, the reason he had been chosen. They're already here, he whispered. 3 months had passed since. Epsilon 9. Jack Harmon pulled his hood lower as he limped through the crowded market of Armstrong Lunar Colony. The stench of too many people living in too small a space filled the recycled air. Neon signs flickered overhead, casting harsh shadows across his face. The visions were getting worse. Last night he'd seen an entire planet crack open like an egg, darkness pouring from its core. Jack ducked into an alley and examined his palm. The star-shaped artifact pulsed beneath his skin, sending blue light through his veins. He couldn't remove it. Couldn't stop the changes happening to his body. "Target spotted in Sector 7, a voice crackled from nearby. Jack pressed himself against the wall as two military police walked past. They hadn't seen him, but they were getting closer. Intelligence Officer Kate Reeves had been hunting him since Epsilon 9, convinced he'd become a weapon. She wasn't entirely wrong. Yesterday, Jack had lifted a fallen support beam that should have been impossible for any human to move. Last week, he'd started understanding alien languages he'd never studied. And now, he could feel technology around him like a sixth sense, especially the old tech, the hidden tech, like the dormant alien device buried in the wall beside him. Jack placed his glowing palm against the concrete. The wall hummed in response. Ancient circuits, hidden for thousands of years, awakened at his touch. "Hey, you can't be here." A man in workers' coveralls approached, toolbox in hand. Jack recognized him, Damon Wells, colony engineer. He'd been in the news for arguing against military control of lunar operations. "I need to go," Jack said, turning away. The wall behind them suddenly split open, revealing a chamber filled with alien technology. Damon's eyes widened. "What the hell did you do?" he demanded. Before Jack could answer, a defense system activated. A metallic tendril shot from the chamber toward Damon's chest. Jack moved without thinking. He grabbed the tendril mid-air, his hand glowing brighter. The alien tech recognized him, powering down instantly. "You just saved my life," Damon whispered, staring at Jack's glowing hand. "You're him, aren't you? The terrorist from Epsilon 9. "I'm not a terrorist," Jack said. "But we need to leave, now." Alarms blared throughout the sector. Military boots pounded on metal floors, getting closer. "There's something beneath the lunar surface," Jack explained as they ran. "A defense grid built by the same civilization that made this." He held up his glowing palm. "It's been dormant for 50,000 years, but it's waking up because of me." They reached a maintenance bay. Damon hesitated, then used his access card to open the door. "Why should I trust you?" he asked. Jack's eyes flashed blue. "Because Earth is next. The void that destroyed the Araxians is coming for us." Military ships descended outside the colony dome. Officer Kate Reeves' voice echoed through loudspeakers. "Jack Harmon, surrender immediately. You've been classified as a level 1 threat to humanity." "Ironic," Jack muttered. He placed his hand on a control panel, interfacing directly with colony systems. Doors sealed behind them as a small transport ship powered up. "Can you fly this?" Damon asked. "I can now," Jack said, knowledge flowing from the artifact into his mind. They launched as security forces breached the bay. The ship accelerated away from the lunar surface, toward Earth. On the view screen, a massive shadow appeared on the far side of Mars. The colony there went dark. Then came the screams over the emergency channel, cut short by sudden silence. Jack and Damon watched in horror as darkness engulfed the red planet. "We're too late," Jack whispered. "Terrorist attack on Mars colony claims thousands." The headline flashed across screens worldwide. Jack's face appeared next, labeled Most Wanted. Jack slammed his fist against the concrete wall of their hideout, an abandoned subway station beneath old Chicago. His hand no longer looked human. Blue light pulsed through metallic veins that had replaced his skin from fingertips to elbow. "They're blaming me for Mars," he said, "saying I activated some alien weapon." Kate Reeves stepped from the shadows. The military intelligence officer had tracked Jack to Earth, but after witnessing the Mars attack firsthand, she'd made a choice. Now she was a fugitive too. "The government needs someone to blame," she said. "Easier than admitting we're under attack by something we don't understand." Damon entered, carrying stolen military tablets. "Security's tightening everywhere. They're scanning for your energy signature. Jack nodded. His transformation was accelerating. Yesterday he'd touched a broken computer and fixed it instantly, his hand merging with the circuits. Last night, he dreamed in alien languages. "We need to find others who might believe us," Kate said. "I know where to go," Jack replied. "The artifact is showing me." They moved through underground tunnels, avoiding security drones. Jack led them to an old library building. Inside, he placed his transformed hand against a wall. The floor slid open, revealing a hidden staircase. "How did you know?" Damon asked. "I can feel the technology calling to me," Jack said. "Like it's been waiting." Below, they found a chamber filled with people working at strange consoles. Everyone froze when the three entered. An old man approached. "The Sentinel has arrived," he said, bowing to Jack. "Who are you people?" Kate demanded. "We are the Watchers," the old man explained. "For generations, we've preserved knowledge of the ancient defenders who fought the void before." Jack stepped forward. "Tell me everything." The old man activated a holographic display showing galaxies being consumed by darkness. The void is not a new enemy. It has hunted civilizations for millions of years. The Araxians were the last to stand against it, creating sentinels to warn future species. "Why me?" Jack asked. "Humans are unique. You combine traits of all previous sentinel species. The Relic chose you because of this." A siren blared. Security feeds showed military forces surrounding the building. "They found us," Damon said. "You two escaped through the back," Jack ordered. "I'll distract them." "I'm not leaving," Damon argued. Soldiers burst through the main doors. Jack pushed Damon toward Kate. "Go." As they fled, Jack faced the soldiers, his transformed arm glowing brighter. He could feel every piece of technology around him, could control it with a thought. Kate and Damon made it to the escape tunnel, but military forces were waiting. They captured Damon while Kate barely escaped. Hours later, in a military interrogation room, Damon sat bloodied and handcuffed to a table. A general paced before him. "Where is Harmon?" The general demanded. "Even if I knew, I wouldn't tell you," Damon spat. The lights flickered. Security alarms blared. "Sir?" A soldier burst in. "Something's happening. The void ships have entered the system. Hundreds of them." The wall exploded inward. Jack stood in the debris, barely recognizable. Half his body had transformed into alien technology. His eyes glowed blue. "You should have listened," he said. The general reached for his weapon. Jack raised his hand, and every electronic device in the room shut down. Screens across the facility suddenly activated, showing the approaching void fleet darkening Earth's skies. Jack freed Damon with a touch. "Take me to the United Earth Council," Jack said. "Now." The general stared in horror at the screens. "What are you?" Jack's transformed face showed both determination and sadness. "I'm not your enemy. I'm your only hope." Earth's orbital defense platforms fired everything they had at the approaching void ships. Missiles exploded harmlessly against their black holes. Laser cannons did nothing. The darkness simply absorbed all attacks. In the United Earth Council chamber, Jack stood before world leaders, his body now more machine than man. Blue light pulsed through the metal and crystal that had replaced most of his flesh. "Your weapons are useless," he said. "The Araxians fought the void for 100 years before they fell. Then what hope do we have?" asked the council president. Jack raised his transformed hand. A holographic map of the solar system appeared, showing hidden structures on planets, moons, and asteroids. "The Araxians left us a defense network. I can activate it." Military leaders argued. Politicians shouted. Trust the alien technology? Trust Jack? They had no choice. "Do it," the president finally ordered. Jack closed his eyes. He sent his consciousness through the ancient network, feeling each dormant weapon and shield generator awaken at his command. On Titan, Saturn's largest moon, the largest installation hummed to life. "We need to get to Titan," Jack said, opening his eyes. The command center is there. Kate had gathered a coalition of military defectors and civilian volunteers. They prepared ships while Jack interfaced with Earth's remaining defenses, buying time. Damon found Jack alone in the command room, staring at his reflection. A transformation had reached his face. One eye now glowed blue. Metal traced patterns across his cheek. "Are you still in there, Jack?" Damon asked quietly. Jack turned. "Less every day. The relic is consuming me. Soon there won't be anything human left. We need you human," Damon said. "Machines wouldn't fight like we do." The building shook as void forces bombarded the city. Time to go. Their small fleet launched, fighting through void ships. Jack directed ancient defense weapons to clear their path. Many ships didn't make it. Those that did reach Titan to find the moon as surface transformed. A massive alien structure had emerged from beneath the ice. Inside the Titan base, Jack connected to the command systems. Kate organized the remaining forces, while Damon worked to understand the alien technology. "Something's wrong," Kate said, reviewing intercepted communications. "Why are some human military ships fighting alongside the Void?" Jack wasn't surprised. The Void offers survival to those who serve it. Someone made a deal. A warning blared through the base. Enemy forces approaching, both Void ships and human traders. "They're coming for the command center," Damon said. Jack felt the alien technology pulling at him, offering a solution. A transformation chamber at the heart of the base could complete his merger with the Araxian systems. He would gain the power to fight the Void directly, but would lose the last of his humanity. "Defend the outer rings," Jack ordered. "I need to prepare something." The battle for Titan was brutal. Kate led the defense, but they were outnumbered. Void forces breached the outer perimeter. Damon's team set explosives to slow their advance. Jack stood before the transformation chamber, its energy calling to him. On screens around him, he watched Earth burning as Void ships descended through the atmosphere. "Jack," Kate's voice came through the comm. "We can't hold them much longer." He stepped toward the chamber, his remaining human hand trembling. The final transformation would give him the power to save Earth, but Jack Harmon would cease to exist. The base shook violently. Damon appeared in the doorway, bleeding from a head wound. "The Void flagship is heading for Earth," he gasped. "They're going for the final harvest." Jack looked one last time at his human hand, then at the burning Earth on the screens. He entered the chamber. "Forgive me," he whispered as energy engulfed him. Light exploded from the transformation chamber. The entire Titan base shook as power surged through ancient circuits. Void forces and human traders breaching the inner defenses were thrown back by the shockwave. The chamber door opened. What emerged was neither fully human nor machine, but something new. Jack's body glowed with blue energy, his form shifting between solid and light. The relic that had embedded in his palm now pulsed at the center of his chest. "Jack?" Damon asked, uncertain. When Jack spoke, his voice resonated with multiple tones. "I understand everything now. The Void isn't conquering. It's harvesting." Kate fought her way to them, her uniform torn and bloody. "What do you mean, harvesting? It consumes consciousness. The minds of entire species." Jack raised his hand, and a holographic display showed the Void flagship approaching Earth. Billions of minds absorbed into its network. Alarms blared as the base defenses failed. Enemy forces would reach them in minutes. "We need to evacuate," Kate said. Jack shook his head. "You need to evacuate. I need to fight." He touched the wall, and the base reconfigured itself. Escape pods emerged from hidden compartments. "Get as many people off Earth as you can," Jack said. "The coordinates for a sanctuary world are in the navigation systems." The Araxians prepared it before they fell. Damon grabbed Jack's arm. "You're coming with us." "I can't. The defense network needs a living conduit." Someone who is both human and Araxian technology. Jack's form flickered. That's what I've become. The base shuddered as void forces broke through the final barrier. Kate pulled Damon toward the escape pods where survivors were boarding. Go! Jack commanded. Outside, the battle for Earth had reached its peak. The Void flagship, a massive constructive darkness that blocked out the sun, positioned itself above the planet. Smaller ships swarmed around it, destroying the last human defenses. Jack rose from Titan, his body now a vessel of pure energy. He moved faster than any ship, reaching Earth's orbit in seconds. The ancient defense network responded to his presence, activating fully for the first time in 50,000 years. From hidden bases across the solar system, beams of energy shot toward Earth. Connecting with Jack, he became the focal point of the entire network. The Void sensed the threat. Its flagship turned its attention from Earth to Jack. A beam of pure darkness shot toward him. Jack didn't dodge. He absorbed the attack, channeling it through the Araxian network. Pain beyond imagination tore through what remained of his consciousness. In the escape ships fleeing Earth, Kate and Damon watched the battle unfold on their screens. "What's he doing?" someone asked. "Fighting back," Damon answered. Jack confronted the Void entity directly, pushing his consciousness into its network. He saw countless civilizations consumed, their minds trapped in endless darkness. "Humans are different," Jack projected into the Void's consciousness. "We don't surrender. We fight even when it's hopeless." He activated the final Araxian protocol. Energy surged from his transformed body, creating a quantum barrier around Earth. The barrier expanded, pushing back the darkness. The Void flagship retreated, its smaller ships scattering. They hadn't expected resistance this strong. Kate guided the refugee fleet toward the coordinates Jack had provided. "Will the barrier hold?" she asked Damon. "As long as Jack maintains it," he replied, watching Earth shrink behind them, now surrounded by a blue shield. On Earth, Jack hovered above the devastated planet. His body had merged with the defense system, becoming a permanent part of it. The barrier would hold as long as he existed. A single tear fell from his still human eye as he watched the refugee ships disappear into deep space. "They'll return stronger," he whispered to the empty sky. "And so will I." The blue barrier pulsed around Earth, a beacon of defiance against the darkness between stars.